从这边来的。
我刚从这边来的。对。你等一下还是再回来找我们好了。
在这边等你们啊。
好，在这边，好。好。他说等一下进出口不懂。
出口后面吗？
不是，这个是入口。
我的入口哦。
对，我们出口是刚刚的那边。
好，
比较靠近你们。
我们就一起走。对。免得走丢。
Okay, a word on ticket prices. For the locals, the price is around 4,000 odd pesos, and for tourists, it is 16,100 pesos. So it's almost 4 times which I have not seen any part of the world, but that's how things work. So if you're interested in this type of things, it may be worth spending it. Yeah, I have never seen in my life a mausoleum like this, a cemetery. Yeah, the closest one I have seen was, I think, in Cuba, but nowhere near like this, because this is well maintained and that's inside. What I can do, I can show you the map. So the name of this place is called Cemetery of Recoleta. Okay, and they have a map of what is where. So those who are interested into going deep, yeah, there are so many, nearly, I don't know how the numbering works, but it starts from 12 to 340, but that's not continuous. Okay, I believe these all things are available online. So about the cemetery of Recoleta, the first public cemetery in the city, was built in 1822 by French. So okay, time is Monday to Sunday 5 p.m. so that means yeah, it's almost open. Yeah, it's open every day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, let's continue. Okay, let me go to the main path, then we will take turns, otherwise I will be losing my way. Unfortunately, I cannot give you a detailed commentary, because for that I need to study and come. It's written Juncal, Juncal. Okay, as I said, those who are much interested into these type of things, it may be good to hire the service of a guide, because it's so many. Each structure might have its own story.
downstairs in some mausoleums that you can see downstairs how the caskets are placed like this on shelves.
I'm going to explain No, this is I just show you because I know that maybe many people are wondering about it. We stop here because we're going to talk about what's going on right now in the cemetery. We have been walking along this avenue. This is like the main avenue. And if you look at the trees, this is also the name of this avenue, cypress tree. You know, in a cemetery it's very common to see cypress because they have a characteristic. The roots of the tree, the cypress, they go straight like this. It gives more space for the graves. It's one of the reasons why there are so many cypress in a cemetery. And what's going on right now? This is still a public cemetery, so it still belongs to the city. It's not a private one. So in terms of responsibility, it belongs to the mayor, meaning to the City Hall of Buenos Aires. When the cemetery was opened in 1822, the plots, they were given for free and in perpetuity. So you got a plot here for free, and you could do whatever you wanted. This is the reason. If you just look around, and I love this word, eclecticism, because there was no restrictions how to build, what to build, or what. The thing is like this. You got a plot, you build a mausoleum. The mausoleum is a private property, and you pay taxes for this. You pay taxes to the city hall. The main problem right now is, for example, these two mausoleums over there. Can you see those two ones here, just in the corner? They're quite abandoned. Those mausoleums are very old. Actually, those mausoleums are from the beginning of when the cemetery was open. When you see a mausoleum made of bricks or stone, they are from 1830, 1840. What happened here? Can you imagine? Maybe there are no more relatives, no more families for paying taxes. So after 20 years of not receiving any payment in the city hall, the authorities have the right of calling for any relative. Nobody show up. They can either preserve the mausoleum, of course they are expropriated, so they empty, they take all the remains to the other cemetery. They can preserve this like a monument because it's a museum, or they can give this in concession. Right now there is a waiting list of 2 years for getting a mausoleum in this cemetery. Still nowadays, it's a kind of VIP cemetery. So if you got a mausoleum here, you are like, part of the upper class. Another situation, for example, you have a mausoleum, you are owner of a mausoleum, but you receive this mausoleum like you receive a property, an inheritance from your family, but you don't even know who is inside the mausoleum because it's so old, and you have to keep on paying taxes. So what you can do right now, actually, is selling the mausoleum. There are 2 real estate agencies in Buenos Aires buying and selling mausoleums. I'm not working in any of these real estate agencies, just for your information. There are 72 mausoleums right now for sale in this cemetery. And the third situation here is about National Historic Monument, like the one you can see. This one here behind me, this one with this big one here, this is the tomb of the President of Argentina. Here in the cemetery there are 25 presidents of Argentina. Not all of them are here because it's a cemetery where there are no more places for new mausoleums, but at the beginning all the presidents were placed here. And this is the mausoleum of a president called Carlos Pellegrini. I don't know if you have already crossed, the White Avenue, 9th of July Avenue, with the obelisk? I do it like this. Right, it is 9th of July. Next is Carlos Pellegrini. Carlos Pellegrini was the president of Argentina during 2 years. He was first vice president after he became president. And it's interesting because if you take a look at this monument, It's quite interesting because the man, Carlos Pellegrini, is not in a kind of recumbent position, laying down. Actually, he's sitting on top of the coffin, the casket. It's connected about what the artist wanted to represent. Have you seen there's a cow on the right?
Yeah. Yes.
A cow? Yes?
Yes.
Well, it's connected about what he did. Carlos Pellegrini was president of Argentina by the end of the 19th century. He, for example, founded the National Bank. He promoted the economy of Argentina. And maybe you know that our economy is based mostly in exporting natural resources, agriculture, livestock production. So he actually improved the development of the economy. So he did a lot of things. So when he died, he was considered a very good president. And the woman, the lady here, who's asking him for help, she is the Republic of Argentina. You know, maybe like in Germany or in France, our republic is a woman. And next to her is a boy. Is the future. They're asking him for support, for help. So this was a president voted by the people. On the contrary, completely different story is this one here. This one, Aramburu. I know that maybe you know there's a restaurant with that name, Aramburu. Has nothing to do with him. Okay, so this one is a mausoleum of Aramburu. And Aramburu was a military man. He was a military man who organized the third military coup in Argentina. Maybe you know that Argentina was under 6 different dictatorships, military government. Well, this man, he was the one who organized the third one in 1955. And he was also involved in the situation with Eva's body, Eva Perón. So, it's interesting, you know, one next to the other one, completely different stories, but in a cemetery, no one cares, you know, they're equal like this. So we're going to walk around the corner and we're going to keep on talking about this. Yes?
How much would it cost me to buy one of the ones?
That's a very good question about how much will it cost to buy a mausoleum here. Having in mind that we are in one of the most expensive neighborhoods, you should think about a regular one around 200,000 US dollars. Wow.
How much are the taxes?
Taxes? That's important information. For a regular one of 200,000, it's around 5,000 US dollars a year. And then you have to add like 2,000 to the gravekeepers. Make your numbers, right?
And if you inherited your mausoleum
Yes,
and you think, no, I don't want that anymore, so you're going to put it up for sale,
yes,
you have to empty it.
of course.
Even though
you have to empty before placing this in for sale. You have to empty the mausoleum. Yes, and you have to pay for this also.
right.
But you cannot sell with no.
So you empty all these people and put them out in the public.
It's up to you to do whatever you want.
Who pays for the change of the name, the sandblasting?
The change of the
When
name.
when it changes ownership.
You pay. Yeah, the one who bought the mausoleum is the one who has to have the responsibility. First of all, preserving. You cannot come here and demolish. If you buy a mausoleum right now, there are some restrictions. You cannot just come here and knock it down. You have to ask permission to make any change, but it's on your own. Actually, in the tour, we're going to visit the newest project here in this cemetery, which is right now under building. It's a new mausoleum. Don't Google it. I'm going to explain to you. Okay? But we're going to talk about this. Yes, sit down. Okay?
For 200,000, how many bodies can you
15 bodies.
50?
Yes.
Oh. That's a bargain. So it's only 15,000 each.
The water tank? No, it's, the water tank is because this is the place where the gravekeepers, the workers, they have their storage room, warehouse. No, I know that, yeah.
Were any mausoleums, do families share them, different families?
No, it's one family.
It has to be.
Exactly, it has to be.
Only the descendants from that family.
Yes. It should be like this. It was not like this at one time, but it should be like this. So it's not it's quite mandatory.
And if someone buys a mausoleum of a family and they have members of the family buried at a different place, They bring them here?
Yes, this is what was going on. If you buy a mausoleum here, you can bring. We were standing here because I would like you to see here, to have an idea how deep the mausoleums can go, because downstairs they can reach till 8 meters. And sometimes people mention, maybe you have heard about, but this is why I ask you about the cemeteries, because sometimes people mention the cemetery in New Orleans, for example, which is about the floods. Well, here it doesn't happen this, because we are in the highest part of Buenos Aires, so there's no dangers of floods. So this is the reason why the mausoleums can go so deep here. They can reach till 8 meters. So when we are walking, check it out, because you can see in some of them downstairs, and you can see how the coffins, the caskets are placed like on shelves. So it's interesting just to see. And something else, I don't know if the word is nice, but if you take a look, you know the memorial markers, the plaques? They are very nice, meaning each one is like an artwork, a masterpiece, designed with the lettering, with all this design. Most of them were placed by relatives, friends, colleagues. Actually, Carlos Pellegrini was a lawyer. He was not a doctor, but he's also considered like a doctor. And he founded the Jockey Club. The Jockey Club is like in UK, you know, the gentleman clubs. This private club is like this for this. So most of these have been played by colleagues of him. So we're going to walk along this with some sun, but then we're going to get the shade. Yes. This woman, she's representation of the freedom. The freedom, yes. And she's sad. She's sad because of the loss of that person. Yes, it's interesting. Okay. This is good. Walk this way. I'm a tour guide. But there was there was a funeral yesterday of a journalist, and he was placed here in the mausoleum of his family. So maybe you have already seen or you have already noticed about downstairs in some of these mausoleums, where you can see downstairs how the casket or coffins are placed. You know, Right now it's not so common to see somebody coming here, staying for a while, downstairs praying or paying respect. This what was going on by beginning of the 20th century. By 1900, 1910, it was very common to see relatives, families coming here, staying for a while. It was a way of showing off. Right now it's not like this anymore. Families, they try to preserve the mausoleums, they pay taxes. Sometimes they don't even come here to check it out how it's going on here, but they are like this. Right now people prefer, rather than this, more like ecological burials, you know, cremation, ashes, and you know, they're here in Argentina, I think in many places, but in Argentina, in the churches, in the Catholic churches, there's a place called cemetery, where you can take the ashes. It's not necessary to let it float in the cemetery. You can take the ashes there, they preserve them, and it's a way of being buried. But that was going on in 1900, that's when it was showing up, you know.
അപ്പുറത്ത് ചെയ്ത് തരാമെങ്കിൽ ഭയം പിടിച്ചോണ്ടിരിക്കും. I think I have spent around 1 hour here. I also joined a free walking group in between, but I think if I stay with them it will take maybe 1 more hour, so because I need to cover other areas too. So yeah, it is worth a visit. Very nicely kept, nice mausoleum. She told some stories which you can, the free walking tour guide said some things, how this mausoleum is maintained, how can you buy coffins. I mean, you can actually buy places here to bury oneself or your family members. Very expensive to maintain, so those who have money, they can do that. So okay, let me wind up here. I need to move to other areas now, but all in all, very good, especially those who are interested in this type of mausoleum architecture.
Y me iba a avisar mañana en clase.
Pero no es la más alta, si es la más alta,
No sé, pero esa águila vuela.
como tú general. ¿Por qué, güey? No, esto apenas está empezando, queremos ir a ver la de este güey.
El papá de Eugenio del Beso.